In today's lecture, we will cover up clear about matching information question, and it comes in your IELTS listening part 2, clear? In IELTS listening part 2, you will expect clear three different type of questions. One of the type of questions you may expect about labeling a map. That's one of the topic. Number one question we will talk about matching
Yes, sir.
information. The second type of question, it may come about MCQs. Multiple choice questions can come to you. And the third type of question in IELTS listening part 2, Claire, you will have that is called labeling
Yes, sir.
a map. Claire, you may have
Yes, sir.
labeling a map or plan. So these are the three clear common type of questions. It comes in your IELTS listening part 2. So today, the topic we're going to talk about, that's called matching information. That what matching information mean and how we will go with this. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So this is our topic, clear matching information type of question. So today, the topic we're going to cover up, that's called matching information type of question. Look, what I mean by matching information type of question, before like the question has been given to you, you are supposed to understand clear the task identification. Now, how can you identify this task identification task clear? I'm going to explain a bit of it.
Sir.
Okay, now look, what we have been given, first of all, you've been given like you should know about what is your task. Clear this your task identification. In task identification,
Yes,
Claire, there are two things that we are been provided. Like where, number one thing that the question has been asked from where can each of the following items be found? Items, this is items, Claire. And then we have where
yes, sir.
these items, like there would be two type of things. Number one thing, you will be given like, can you see these are options? These are my options. Options are provided
Yes,
to
sir.
you, and down you may see these are my questions. Clear 14, 15, 16, 17, clear, and 18. So these are my
Yes, sir.
questions, and they will provide you also with the box clear. These are your options. So I'm going to explain it a bit further, clear that how it will work and how we need to go with these type of questions. Now, in
Yes, sir.
matching information tasks, you're required to match a list of items to a set of opinions clear according to the information you're going to hear in the audio. As I told you, so this is how would we have this. These are the locations clear. These are my options, and down you will find your questions clear. What am I supposed to do is like what the question clear like this is about pillows. So relate the information related to pillows, and the box they have given you options like location. Where can you find it? Clear, you will find out the location of that one. So the set of option may be criteria of some kind. The items clear will be marked by the numbers and option by alphabets. Now look at here, like the items clear, we call them items. This is called item. This portion
Yes,
we
sir.
call it items. And the up portion clear, these are options. What do we call options? So items are usually clear, they come with what? With the numbers. These are my numbers 14, 15,
No.
16, clear. And options will be marked with
Yes.
what? With alphabets like A, B, C, D,
Alphabet.
F, G, H, clear. These are my alphabets that they have marked it, clear. So you should know that
Yes.
for the question I will write, for example, for the question 14 pillows, clear. Suppose you find out that the C number, option number C is the correct. So you will bring it and you will write down only C here, clear. So there would be two portions. One of the portion is for your item, and item are been provided with the numbers, and then you will have the options. Options are been given with the alphabets.
Alphabet. Yes.
Now, look at here, we're going to further explain them clear in a bit of more details.
Yes, sir.
First of all, you should know about the question, Claire. Like the question starts with what? They will provide you with the information question words. Like for example, which, Claire, what, where. So you should know like the question starts, Claire. It starts with what? It usually begin with where, what, or which. So what is currently the main area of work, Claire, of each of the following
Yes.
people? So it means there are
Yes,
two
sir.
parts in my question. One of the part is about people, Claire. This is one part. And work area, area of work, Claire. This is the second part. So people, Claire, I have got people here. So people, they have provided you in the item box. This is what I call item box. And as I told you, item box would be represented with what? With the help of that of
No.
your numbers. And if you may also see area of work. So area of work, these are my options, and options are been presented with what? With that of alphabets. I can find out my alphabets, Claire. And now you should keep in your mind that options are more than that of your items, Claire. They will give you like, the options more just to confuse you. So they will give you more options than that of your alphabets.
Yes, sir.
Okay, many students are confused and matching information tasks if they don't understand what exactly the question is asking them to do. It is important that you understand the question correctly. Mostly the first half of the question refers to the options, as I mentioned earlier. The first half is there are two halves, Claire, and the second half refers to the question statements. Now, look how many questions we have. This is one part, as I mentioned earlier, like main area of work. And the second portion, Claire, that's about people, Claire. They've already mentioned here about the
Yes.
people. Okay, so how many things we are going to be found, Claire? Number one thing that, can you see with the red? I have, this is my items and the options, Claire, where I can find them out. So the question may start with what? Can you see what I have circled here? It may start with what, Claire? It may start with where. Can you see? This is where.
Yes, sir.
It may start with which. Clear? Initial words like
Yes,
the
sir.
statements you need to. Number of options and questions will not match, Clear? Like many of the IELTS tasks, the matching information tasks will also not have the same number of the options and questions. Like numbers will be less, Clear? I mean, the questions will be less and the number of options will be more, as I mentioned earlier. If the options are more than questions, then one or more options will not be used. If there are fewer options, more questions, then one or more options will be used more than once. Now, what I mean by here, matching information, you will have two different type of questions. One of the type of question that you will be provided with the options more, like in this question, you may see Claire. So what I have now in this case, that I have got more options. My options are more. These are my options. My
Yes, sir.
options are more, and my numbers, Clear, like the questions I have, they are less. It means that the options, some of the options will not be used, Clear, in my answers. For example, if I find out, Clear, A I wrote here for the 37, B, C, again, like I will be left out with one or two, Clear, extra options will be given to you. But in case, if you have this type of question, now look, options are less. Can you see? My options are less and the questions, Clear, they are more. So in this case, I will use like A, B, C. Can you see these are my options? And the question, Claire, for the questions are more. Like how many questions do I have? There are 4 questions, and the options I have, the options are 3 with me. It means one of the options will be used twice. For example, we have
Yes, sir.
A, Claire. We have got A. This it comes about my A here, and then we have got like this my A. What I have written here, this is A. So if I write B here or C here, or this is my B, so now one of the options will be repeated. It can be B, C, or A. For example, again, it comes about C. So one of the options can be in case if the options are less and questions are more, so options will be used like twice. But if the options are more and the questions are less, it means some of the options will not match Clear with the information provided to you by the recording. Now look
Yes, sir.
again, we have less options, more questions. Now look, this case, we have more options, less questions. It means some of the options will not be used. Again, like in this question, Claire, we have got less, more questions, less options. Less options, more questions. Claire, in this case, what do we have like more? Claire, what we will have in this case, like the responsibilities. Claire, these are responsibilities and restaurant requirements. So what we have in this case, again, that the options are more than that of the questions. So we're going to talk about these questions, Claire, and we will do it practically, that how these type of questions are being performed. I'm going to play you the listening and you will be with me, Claire. We will do these type of questions. Are you ready now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You should keep in your mind while solving these type of questions that what we can do here, Claire. As
Yes,
you
sir.
listen, Claire, as you hear, like for example, the first one, joy. So joy, as you hear this portion, Claire, you will not focus. आपने फिर यहाँ पे focus नहीं करना, Claire. You will not focus on the questions. बस आपने एक बार मतलब you will hear about the question, Claire, and once you hear that one, you will move with the options. जहाँ पे ये responsibilities दे ना, so you will move up.
Yes,
You will
sir.
not keep continue like focusing down. तो जैसे ये दूसरे बंदे के डेविड की तरफ आएगा, तो जैसे आपने डेविड सुन लिया, तो फिर आपने क्वेश्चंस पे मजीद फोकस नहीं करना, आपने कहां पे फोकस करने? ऑप्शंस में. Like
Options.
students they do mistake, and what type of mistake do they do? They do mistake with these type of things that they keep focusing on both options plus questions. नहीं, आपने क्वेश्चन को रीड किया, आपको पता चला कि ये बंदा अब जो स्पीकर है, लिसनिंग में मुझे किस चीज के बारे में सुनने को मिलेगा. सो यू विल हेयर अबाउट दी, फॉर एग्जांपल, वन ऑफ द पर्सन. तो जॉय या डेविड के बारे में आपने जैसे सुन लिया, तो आपने अबाव ऑप्शन में उसके बारे में देखना होगा. इज दिस क्लियर? I will do practically
Yes,
with
sir.
you. You will understand one thing. And another thing that is that, remember, they will be using synonyms. Entirely like जो
Yes, sir.
आपका टेस्ट होगा, for example, they have
Yes, sir.
used here first aid. So C number option देखिए, first aid. So they will not use the word first aid. They will be using synonym for this portion. They will
Yes,
not
sir.
say exactly clear the same thing, but they will talk about what they will use synonym for this portion. तो इन लोगों ने फिर क्या करना है वहां पे? Synonym इस्तेमाल करने हैं. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
They will not say exactly
Yes,
the
sir.
same thing, Claire. They will try to use synonym. For example, first aid. So they may talk about the treatment. They will talk about
Yes,
what?
sir.
They may talk about the treatment, about that. For example, they have got the breakages. तो breakages के लिए ये synonyms इस्तेमाल करेंगे, ठीक है? They will not use the exact breakages,
Yes,
but they will have another word for that breakages. तो breakages के लिए जो भी synonym ये लोग इस्तेमाल करना चाहते, they can use. Like there is a timetable. Clear? So timetable के लिए they will not use exactly the same, but they will talk about the timings. Now listen it. I'm going to play you the recording, and we will come to know. We'll do one by one.
Okay, sir.
Now, let me tell you about some of the people you need to know. So, as I said, I'm Joy Parkins, and
So if she say I'm Joy Parkins, clear? So she has already talked about Joy Parkins. तो आपने मतलब ये सुन लिया, तो आपने questions पे और मजीद focus नहीं करना, आपने कहाँ पे focus करना है? You will move up, clear, with the options. अब आपने वहां पे अभी ढूंढना है कि इस like what is her responsibilities? ये Joy Parkins की responsibilities क्या है? Now listen.
I decide who does what
Yes,
during
sir.
the day and how long they work for.
Who works and how long will they work? मतलब how long they will work, clear? तो मतलब किसने काम करने और how long they will work. तो क्या आ सकते हैं उसमें?
Timetables.
Very good. That's about timetable, because her duty is related to timetable. So we will write down F in front of that of Joy Parkins.
I'll be trying to get you to work with as many different people in the kitchen as possible, so that you learn while you're on the job. One person whose name you must remember is David Field.
अभी ये डेविड फील्ड के बारे में इसने कहा, तो आपने अभी क्या करना है? यू नीड टू फोकस मोर ऑन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. आपने अभी डेविड फील्ड पे तवज्जो नहीं देनी. कहाँ पे देनी है? यू विल गो विद रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज.
If you injure yourself at all, even if it's
If you injure yourself at all, तो इंजरी से रिलेटेड क्या है?
First aid.
First aid. C can be the correct one. Now listen to her.
Really minor. You must report to him, and he'll make sure the incident is recorded and you get the appropriate treatment.
And you get the appropriate treatment. So it means that's related to injuries and proper treatments. So C option can be the correct one. If you injure yourself, clear, to get proper treatment, you should concern whom? David Field. So I will write down what? I will write down C for that of David Field.
C.
He's trained to
Yes,
give
sir.
basic treatment to staff himself, or he'll send you off somewhere else if necessary. Then there's Dexter Wills.
Then, Claire, you need to like listen to the like the words, they move to another question, like one person you should know, then, Claire, finally. So these are the type of words that you should know about, that the person is moving to another person.
Yes, sir.
The person you need to see if you smash a plate or something like that.
Okay, that is about, look,
Don't just leave it and hope no one
D,
will know.
breakage.
Yeah.
Or he'll send you off somewhere else if necessary. The incident is recorded and you get the appropriate treatment. He's trained to give basic treatment to staff himself, or he'll send you off somewhere else if necessary. Then there's Dexter Wills.
then there is Dexter Wells. So they're talking about Dexter Wells, Claire. So now listen to Dexter Wells. What's his
He's the
responsibility?
person you need to see if you smash a plate or something.
He's the person you need to see if you smash a plate or something like that. Smash means to break something, Claire.
Breakage.
So breakages, excellent.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's more related with what? Breakages. So for this options, we will
D.
talk about breakages, Claire. That is breakages D.
Yes.
So Dexter Wells, we will write down D.
Don't just leave it and hope no one will notice. It's really important to get things noted and replaced, or there could be problems later. And finally, there's Mike Smith.
Finally, there is Mike Smith. Claire, they're talking about Mike Smith. So listen to Mike Smith. What's his responsibility?
He's the member of staff who takes care of all the stores of perishables.
All the stores and perishables.
If you notice we're getting low in flour or sugar or something,
If you're low with flour and sugars, so it means what? That's related
Food
to
stocks.
food stock. Excellent. So the correct option can be B for this option, Claire. So write down B
Yes,
for
sir.
this option.